young ones.
Hi, I'm Hannah Goldman, and I play Laura the Goth. I think my favorite part about playing Laura the Goth is definitely that I can just zone out when I play her. I think in life there's a lot of pressures, and I'm a person who's, always working to really make everything work and make it excellent and make it the best. And Laura the Goth just sits there and she stares at the wall, and she's not trying to really, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. She's not constantly neurotically going around saying, what should I do, what should I do? She just sits there and does her thing. And it's very liberating, actually. It was pretty obvious that I was going to be a performer. I was always singing and dancing and just, doing crazy stuff. But acting, I fell in love with musical theater from a very early age, and also Shakespeare. And I think the defining moment was I was 11, and I was going to a musical theater camp at the Rockville JCC, and just the best time of my life. And I just, from then on, my path was set for me. So at the time that the auditions were going on at Duke Ellington, which is where I go, I was a first year. And first years are not allowed to do anything. So we couldn't audition. Actually was called in by Alika, who plays Maggie, to see if I could be an extra. And then I got there, and then somebody was just like, okay, Laura the Goth's actress is gone, play her. It basically was an extra role, just gothic. So yeah, that's how I got into it. One of the things we learn at Ellington is that you have to do character bios, and in my bio, which I did for season 2, I was trying to figure out what her family life would have been like and what made her become a goth. So in my mind, she was very close with her mother, they were best friends, and then her mother died of heart disease, and her father was just this workaholic, alcoholic, who wanted her to be a girl who was trying to, conform to all the pressures of life and be a straight-A student, but he was completely just abusive to her. I don't think physically, but definitely verbally and emotionally at least. So that's the bio. I think there's a lot of differences, especially when I started out playing her. I really just was completely winging it. I had no idea what I was doing. I think in general, I am not a person who gives up, and Laura the Goth has definitely given up on life.
Well, not afraid. I'm always feeling empty, which is close. And it makes it really hard to remove myself from any situation.
That I think is the main difference between us. I think similarities is that we're very emotionally unstable. So, although I'm not a giver-upper, it's easy for me to go to that place. So yeah. Well, I can't imagine going to Ellington and not using technology because everyone is so busy. We'll be walking around at lunch trying to find group members, calling people, texting people about rehearsals, and I just could not imagine having to call people's houses or arrange in advance. It's so much planning. I think it allows our generation to be much more impromptu with whatever we do. So that's the main thing. I think maybe I'm trying to figure out if I would be more social that way or less social. I don't know. I just think life would be much. I'm trying to think, because on one hand you could say it would be much more frustrating because you couldn't get in touch with people, but in this day and age, if you can't get in touch with someone like that, you go crazy. You're like, oh, I've been texting her for like 2 hours, she hasn't responded. I put it on her Facebook wall, I call her, I don't understand how she's not getting this message. Like, so I think we expect a great deal about communication nowadays that in the 90s, it was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, okay, we called her, she didn't pick up, she's at home, you know, so. Favorite Laura the Goth. I'd probably have to say, it's gonna sound really racy, but the scene we shot with me and Andrew Cohen, who plays Travis, and we were like behind this shed or house or whatever, and we were just, it was at the end of the day, everyone was exhausted, and we were just like, and then Rebecca said, okay, you guys are gonna do your makeout scene. I was like, what? Because it wasn't on the schedule. She was like, eat a cookie, go get in there and just push each other against the wall and scratch each other and make out. And it was probably my favorite scene because I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but can I curse?
Yes.
Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, but just fuck it. And I was completely surrendering myself to the character and just being like, just scratch me, push me, and ah. It was a fun scene to shoot.